welcome back to day 18. And today we're actually not a million miles away from yesterday's loch, although it was at least 2 weeks apart in time, if not slightly more than that, and a different walk. So this is Fion Loch, and again, there are several of them in Scotland, but this is one that, well, we went in from Poolew, which is out on the coast. It's kind of near Gairloch, on the west coast. And this one was, I think a friend of ours had got in touch and said, "What are you doing at the weekend? I'm up from the south. Would you like to go and do something?" And, you know, until very recently, he'd done, you know, he'd said a similar thing, and Malk had been like, "Oh yeah, I could meet you to do this," or "No, I'm busy," or whatever. But it would be something that Malky would go off and do, and, you know, the boys would go off together, and I would be like, I'm stuck at home again. Isn't this rubbish? And even once I'd been doing slightly better, I still hadn't been able to go and join them because, you know, even though I'd been doing slightly better, I still wasn't up to doing anything near what they were wanting to do. So I was always left out and felt kind of abandoned. So this one was pretty cool because I was like, wow, I've got a plan. Let's walk in here, let's go along there, let's go and camp up there. We can have a swim in that loch and then we walk back that way. And I think I kind of came up with this idea without really thinking too hard. And I think if I'd thought too hard about it, I might have thought that it was too big. But at the same time, I was obviously feeling a level of confidence that I sort of maybe hadn't before. You know, that, you know, fitness had improved a lot, which it had. And, you know, the recovery did seem to be sticking, which it was. And all of these things. So yeah, we went and did it. We did an overnighter, we took the tent, and, like, you know, to be fair, I couldn't have done it without Malky because he carried most of the stuff. You know, he carried the tent, he carried all the cooking equipment, he carried pretty much all of the water. You know, I had, like, my sleeping bag and sort of extra clothes. That was kind of all that I really carried. And my swimming towel, obviously. So, you know, I couldn't have done it without him because if I'd been carrying extra weight, I would have, you know, really, really struggled. But I did it. You know, we didn't do it fast. We were pretty slow. But again, it was just another kind of, yeah, things really are getting better because 2 months ago I couldn't have done this. And 2 months before that, I was still flat on my arse with long COVID. So, you know, it was kind of definitely a reminder that, you know, things were getting a lot better in terms of the recovery, and then a lot better in terms of the fitness as well. And, you know, like yesterday's loch, this is another one that's it's not that easy to get to. You know, as a day walk, it would have been pretty long day walk to go in and back. You know, we were camping and, you know, doing extra stuff, which kind of split it up a bit. But it was just such a cool spot to get to because, again, you know, you really are swimming right underneath, you know, big rocky crags and really impressive places. And, you know, as I was talking about earlier, you know, with some of the other ones, you know, you can get some of that feel of I'm swimming right under the mountains, you know, from lochs that you can actually get into from the road. And that's amazing, you know, like Loch Morlich, for example, you know, that's literally on the road. But I don't know, this one felt particularly special because we had walked there and because it was quite a lot of effort to get there, and that's not something that I would have been able to do previously. So yeah, it was quite special. It was a big trek, and I hadn't been able to do big treks, and that was something that I just loved doing so much, was, you know, throwing everything in my rucksack and, you know, putting the tent up somewhere remote and watching the sunset and then going to bed and waking up and it was my mountain in the morning kind of thing. So this just felt sort of really special to be able to do that, even though I was kind of relying on other people to help me carry stuff this time. But, you know, it was like, well, next time I'll probably be doing it myself. And isn't that awesome? So yeah, a really cool loch.